So you might be saying, okay, well, how much is that amount worth? Okay, so let's say, for example, you buy a property. So I'm going to bring up my calculator so that we can do this together. Okay, if you buy a property for $250,000, so we will carry the mortgage for you at $250,000. Okay, let's say we charge you 10% interest. Okay, so you would take 250 times 10%. Okay, divide that by 12. Okay, so you're going to be paying $2,000 a month in just interest only payments on this house. Okay, that $2,000 does not go towards your principal, like I mentioned earlier. It's only interest. That amount is what the person who's holding the mortgage for you will be making. Okay, and at some point you want to switch over to a regular bank so that when you're paying $2,000, some of that portion will be going towards your principal. Okay, so now we're going to figure out what the 7% looks like. So you're going to take the 250,000 times 7%. Okay, so it is a one-time fee of $17,500. Okay, so it's a one-time fee. So you would need to have that money up front. So however you get that money, whether it's through teaming up with your significant other, your family members, there would be a $17,000 upfront fee for that administration fee. Okay, and we can include that in your mortgage. Okay. So, and then the other thing that you need to be aware of is that there is a 5% down payment requirement. So this is the same as when you're buying a house through any traditional way. Okay, there would have to be a 5% down payment. So if we did that calculation, so 250,000, let's say is the example on the house, times that by 5%. So you would have to have 12,500, whether it's in your sitting in your bank account, through your RSPs, through your TFSA. So this is 12,500. That goes towards that $250,000. Okay, so that is your down payment money. Okay, for your property. Okay, so those are the costs of being a part of the Own Now program. So like I said, this program is not right for everybody. There is a cost, there's an expense to being in this program because you're getting into your home on day one. You own your home from day one. Okay, so now what is the risk of this program? Okay, so the risk is after you move in and you're paying your monthly payments. Okay, if for some reason you stop making payments, okay, like in a regular mortgage that the bank holds for you, you have to make your payments every month. If you miss your payments, you then enter into what they call default. Okay, and so at any point within that, the bank can send you a letter saying you're in default, you're behind on your payments. At some point they will, if you keep going into a default, is they will foreclose on your property. Okay, so the same thing will happen in the Own Now program, is that if you fall behind on your payments, we will send you a letter telling you you're in default. We will contact you to say, hey, you're in default, you know, what can we do to get you caught up? Okay, after so many instances like this, we will then initiate a foreclosure on the property, which means then we will be forced to sell your property. Okay, that really is the extent of the risk. Okay, you potentially would lose your home, lose the down payment, lose any of the mortgage payments that you have made because we now have to sell the home, and the money coming back from the sale would go to pay off the person who holds the mortgage, just like in a bank. And then if there's any money left over from the sale of the property, assuming that the property value has gone up in value, okay, if there's any money left over, that money will be then dispersed to you. Okay, also keep in mind there's also legal fees, there's, you know, sheriff fees and all of that stuff that has to go into it. So which is the same thing as a regular property that is owned by the bank. Okay. Oh, and then the other risk, sorry, there is one other risk. So because the Own Now program, we are using investors to hold your mortgage for you. We are charging the higher interest rate. So it's the 10, 12, potentially 14% that you're going to be paying on this mortgage. So the other inherent risk is, let's say after 6 months, after a year, if your credit score is not fixed, if you don't have a steady income, okay, for whatever reason, when you go to the bank, if the bank is not willing to renew your mortgage for you or give you a new mortgage, then you are going to have to renew with the person who's currently holding your mortgage at that 10, 12, or 14%. And that really does suck, because now you're still paying interest only at that 10, 12, or 14%. Okay, so that's the other risk, is that you're going to have to potentially renew at that higher interest rate if you are not able to renew with the bank. Okay, so those are the two risks that I can that I can think of that would impact you in this deal. Okay, so if you're still interested in this program, please fill out the application. Contact us if you have any questions. Okay, and feel free to email us at this email address. Okay, thanks very much.